Welcome everyone to another TWT Conversion Lab. I'm your host, Cameron Evans, aka Cameron Evans, and this is our co-host,
Eric Zarate, aka Eric Zarate.
mhm, Eric Zarate, aka the guy with camera that you see walking around the office. Today we're going to get into a really good one by popular demand. We've been going over a lot of property alerts. We've been getting into how to send your leads screenshots of the homes that, based on the activity that you see in the back end of Follow a Boss and Lofty. And we've been, talking about the building blocks on top of the foundation of Follow Up, Boss, and Lofty. And we thought we'd bring it back just because we got a lot of fundamental, basic questions from real estate agents. And we're just going to go into the setup of your Lofty account so then you can start doing all of these activities that Andrew preaches about in his TWT trainings. And so, luckily, we have a guest on here that is going to, she actually just got her Lofty account and she needs to set it up. And so what we're going to do is screen share with her and just walk you step by step exactly what to do to set up your Lofty as soon as you pay the $25 a month subscription from our team. For anyone that needs their Lofty set up, go ahead and Eric, if you can put our 213-296-0505 number in there. And go ahead and text this number that Eric is about to put in the chat. For anyone who doesn't have Lofty set up yet and you want the Lofty, just keep in mind it's $25 a month and you're about to see why as we get into this training. And so, but you can go ahead and 213-296-0505. 296, yes. And you guys can go ahead and text that number and just let me know. Just say, hey, Cameron, I want my Lofty account set up. And then we will go ahead and set that up for you. Send you the subscription. And then what you're going to do once your subscription is all ready to go, we're about to get into right now. And so, Lourdes, are you there?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So, Lourdes, first and foremost, thank you so much, Lourdes, for letting us do this.
No.
Yes, so Lourdes is one of the famous agents here, and she is going to show you step by step exactly how to set up your Lofty. Go ahead, Lourdes.
Take it away.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. So yeah, Lourdes, so if you can go ahead and share your screen, and then we're just going to walk you through what it looks like. Okay, perfect. So give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you all can see Lourdes's screen. I am then going to go into perfect. So I'm then going to go into mine, and as soon as you all pay for the subscription, you all are going to get an email that is going to be coming from Lofty, and this should be popping up in your email right now, Lourdes. And so, and then for those of you, so I just sent it right now. And so for those of you, boom, so right there. And so if you could pause right there, Lourdes. So this is and if you could like scroll up a little bit too as well, just to show them what it looks like. So it's going to be coming from Lofty, and it's going to say, welcome to the Warburton team. Activate, and obviously once you click in it, it's going to say activate your Lofty account. And so this is our team. We get the notification once you pay for the subscription, and then we go ahead and send you this email. And then you can go ahead, Lourdes, and click activate Lofty account. And then Lofty goes ahead and you have to create your login and your password. And so her login email is obviously her lourdes.uribe at exprealty.com. And then she's going in and just creating her password for right now.
I think it would be really helpful for everybody to know your password, Lourdes, if you could share that. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. And so once she's done inputting her password, she does activate account after she agrees to the settings. And then now it's going to take her to her welcome Lofty. You all can watch this video if you want, but what I usually do is you go ahead and hit that start setup button. And then we're going to start with her profile photo and syncing her IDX to her website. Because remember, everyone, you can go ahead, Lourdes, by clicking that upload photo. While she's doing that and looking for a photo of herself, just remember everyone, as soon as you sign up for the Lofty account that you share with the Warburton team, you get access to the gowpnow.com website. And so Lourdes' website is going to be lourdesuribe.gowpnow.com. And so that is literally being set up in the background as she is setting up her profile. So what she did was she just added her headshot, and it's super simple. You all seen her do it. Keep in mind, we are recording this, so if we are going fast, keep in mind two things. One, we're recording this, you're going to see it on YouTube after this. And then two, we're going to be helping individuals in the chat, and then also anybody who is here with this these steps afterwards. And so Lourdes is going to under position label that she is an agent, which obviously the majority of you are. If you do have your broker's license, you are a broker, then obviously you're going to hit broker. And then she's going to hit that add agent ID. Now this is your CRM MLS ID. So you have to say which MLS that you're with. For a majority of you all, it's the CRM MLS. And then you are assigned a login username. This is where you're going to type that in, and then you're going to see yourself pop up. And then they are going to send a verification to your phone. And so, Lourdes, if you hit that send verification code, I believe that's what activates it. You're then going to get a verification sent to your cell phone that is on file. Easy. This is easy. This is easy stuff. Very nice. And as you can see, she has successfully connected her IDX. So basically, she set up her IDX for her website right then and there. And so you can go ahead and hit next. Now, social media. I, at this point, do not worry about my social media just because that's an advanced feature. They have a social media planner within Lofty. And so what I do is I hit skip on this one right next to the grayed out next. Yes. And then next thing that we're going to go to is, so as you can see, her website is set up and her domain is right there. So the Lourdes, Lourdes, how do you pronounce your last name?
Uribe?
Uribe.
Oribe. Is that right? Does it sound like an O at the beginning?
No, like an oo.
Uribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you hear the R roll? That's my Puerto Rican side right there for you.
That was his 2 years of Spanish in high school.
Fun fact, my Spanish teacher passed me with an A in my Spanish class just because he was a basketball fanatic and I was one of the basketball players in high school and he loved coming to the games. And I said, we'll keep winning games and I'll keep scoring points if you give me an A in my Spanish class.
Nice.
And that worked out very well. Thank you. His name was Mr. Beaumont, which is pretty cool last name. Thank you, Mr. Beaumont, for that A in my Spanish class. If you're still there teaching, anybody that has kids that's going to Beaumont High School, he doesn't do that at all. He doesn't favor kids at all. So anyways, okay, so now let's go to communication setup. If you go ahead and hit start on that, what this is real quick before we go into it, Lourdes, what this is connecting your Gmail and your calendar to your Lofty. Why? Because we want to be making sure that we're getting notifications, the one that Andrew talks about. You know, when you are setting up your leads on property alerts, this is where it's going to be sending it to your Gmail. So you're just linking your Gmail, right? And then at the same time, your calendar, regardless of whatever one you use, either Hotmail or I think the other one's Office 365. I think that's Hotmail. So whichever service provider that you use for your email, you're connecting it so you can easily get those PNs into your email. And then when it comes to your calendar, we want to sync this up because if you all are scheduling appointments in your Lofty, it's going to automatically sync those appointments to your calendar. And so it's going to pop up into your calendar once you do that. So we can go ahead and connect the email first, and just by hitting connect by the Gmail, and then it's just going to navigate Lourdes to a Gmail pop-up window for her to then select her Gmail. Were you able to click it, Lourdes?
It should be showing you guys unless okay.
Oh, there's a window, right? It's
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see.
Let me. Here you go. Okay, hold on. 1 sec.
Yeah, I think when you shared your screen on Zoom, you only shared the window, not the entire screen.
Okay, then let me stop sharing. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that shows everything now, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So this is what it looks like, and it's going to ask you to choose your Gmail account that's used on file, and obviously Lourdes is choosing her Gmail account. She's going to hit continue. And those of you, obviously, you can notice too. So Lourdes, if you stop real quick, notice that Lourdes's email is different than the one that she actually signed up with. But also remember that Lourdes signed up with her EXP email, and that EXP email forwards all the emails to this Gmail that she has set up.
Correct.
That's a lot of emails and Gmails. Yeah, so there is so basically, yes, I think that was explained clearly enough. Did that make sense for everyone? Lourdes has her Gmail, her normal Gmail. Her EXP email is forwarding all her emails to that Gmail, and that Gmail is the one that she just used for her sign in for Lofty. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. And so then she's going to say, I want to allow Lofty ongoing access to my Google account, and then she's going to select all. So you're basically what she's doing is giving Lofty access to your Gmail to have this sync in there. And then she's going to hit continue. And then next, and then you're going to see it says connected when it's green. And then next, we're going to set up the calendar. And so it's the same exact process. You click connect on the email service provider that you're using, and then it's going to bring up the instructions for you to then connect it to your Gmail or your email that you are logged into. And it's the same exact process. You're going to allow Lofty access to your calendar so it can see when you're busy, and it can also book any sort of appointments that you are scheduling in your Lofty. It can book it into your calendar directly.
I have a question on syncing the emails and calendars.
Yes.
I have my EXP as my main email, and I have a question if it's possible to sync the calendar with anything other than Outlook or Google, or what would be the best way to do it, like through
What do you
Apple's
have?
calendar? I have the Apple calendar, and I'm using the Apple Mail service with my EXP email.
Interesting.
I think at the moment Lofty hasn't integrated the Apple Calendar.
I don't think
yet.
there's an Apple Calendar option in there.
So if I forward my EXP emails to my Gmail, what would be the best way to do that? Just go back in here and sync my Google Calendar with Lofty, Google Calendar and Google Email.
Let's see. So sorry. So you're trying to sync your EXP Realty email to one of either your iCloud or your Gmail?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
right now I have my
Go ahead.
appointments are coming in, and like with Follow Up Boss, they go onto my iCloud calendar.
Got it.
And
Interesting. So let's see. Yeah, whoever was
I believe there's a way for your iCloud calendar to sync with your Google Calendar, but don't quote me on that. I don't know how to do it. James Olvera is a super techie guy. Don't tell him I told you, but if you want to ask him, he's on the team.
For right now, let me find out if that's true. To connect iCloud and Google. That way, you're able to connect your Lofty to your Google. And then let's just continue on, and then I'll come back.
100%. Great question though, Ben. Yeah. So basically, Lourdes connected her Gmail and her calendar now, and then she hit the next button. So now this step of building your database, I would pause here. So we went through all of the necessary steps just to get access to your Lofty account, because Lofty wants to make sure that your account is actually set up before accessing your dashboard. And so at this point, the Explore Lofty button at the top right-hand corner, you can click that and get right to your dashboard. I always skip the build database part just because it walks you through extracting all of your contacts from your Gmail, from your phone, through everything, going into Lofty and extracting that and putting it into Lofty. If you want to do that, you can then follow the steps in that database, building database portion of the setup. But usually I always just go directly to just setting up Lofty, just going to, sorry, the dashboard. Okay. And so any questions so far with the initial, you know, accepting the email, and then going through those couple steps of adding your headshot, connecting your IDX, and then setting up your Gmail and your Google. Any questions so far before we move on?
I have a question, Cameron.
Yeah.
I had a Lofty account before, but I guess through all the changes, it got deactivated with the team. Will all this stuff like repopulate or no? Or am I starting off from scratch?
How long ago was it deactivated?
I believe it was the beginning of this year because they had said, oh, we're not using Lofty anymore. So if you want to keep it, you can buy it. But at the time, I didn't think I needed it since we were using FUB. So
Right.
I think it was deactivated in January.
Yes. Okay. Because if it was deactivated and yeah, that's another one that I would have to check specifically in the back end of our Lofty. Yeah, because Felicia was asking that same question, the same exact scenario. I usually, so this is what we do. So, and keep in mind too that when Lainey was here, she may have done it a different way. But what I usually do is when we deactivate accounts on the back end, when agents ask us, hey, we don't want our Lofty account anymore, I go in there and deactivate it and then delete it. But the option that Lofty gives me is to put those leads somewhere. You have to put them somewhere. So what I always do is put it in our main account, our customer service account. And so now I don't know if the tagging carries over. I don't know if the statuses carry over. I don't know any of that. I would have to go in there and check afterwards. But most likely you're in the same boat as Felicia to where everything, you just have to start fresh.
Okay, no worries. And I just paid the subscription. So when does the email come through to me?
Yeah, so our onboarding admin, so I just have to notify her to then go in there and I actually just got a notification about it too. Nice. So let's see. So I just have to let our admin know and then she will send you the email. So
got it. Thank you.
Can you set up Aja and
I want to say something. I don't know if it's Aja, you're trying to recover your leads or campaigns that you had created.
Just was wondering like if my picture and all of my personal data was still in the system.
Because normally that would be an account through the team that you were with and belongs to them. So just my experience with KB Core through EXP is if you are no longer be part of it at all, the best thing to do is just make sure you put your leads on what is it called? CBS, whatever, CDD, whatever that thing is. And then just take them before it gets deleted.
Yes.
But your picture and so forth, yeah, you would have to create your profile over again.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Angelica. Okay, cool. Okay, I just let our onboarding admin know, and she will send you the link, hopefully ASAP.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now I just want to show you all where to locate your website, right? Just so you can see your name, you can click to it, you can go to it, and you can actually save it to your phone the way that you save TWT agents to your phone, so you can always access your website instantly. And so
actually real quick, I did find a discussion forum for the issue that Benjamin was having. I'm gonna send it, well, I'm gonna put it in the chat so that everybody can see. I was reading a couple of the comments before, like this is exactly to how to solve the issue of like linking iCloud to Google. But what I'm reading down here is that there might be a couple of issues when it comes to, like, although the Google Calendar and your iCloud calendar might be synced on your phone, it might not always work across multiple Apple devices. So even though you have it on your iPhone synced up, it might not be synced up on your Mac. And maybe that isn't a big issue for you, but I think this goes back to like if it's easiest to use Google Calendar instead of iCloud Calendar, it's kind of like up to you whether or not you want to or can make that decision. But I will, regardless, put in the link down here to the discussion forum so that it goes step by step on how to do it.
Love that. Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So now we can continue.
Yes. All right, cool. So first and foremost, I want to show you all the website, and then I want to get into adding leads into your Lofty. It's super simple and just like basic protocol to add leads to your Lofty. So first and foremost, Lourdes, if you can go ahead and, I don't know if you all can see the options all the way at the top. So people, transaction, calendar, listings. There's going to be a website option. You can go ahead and click that, Lourdes. And this takes you to accessing your website. Her CRMLS and her IDX is set up through this website. And then, these are just extra features within Lofty. You could just put not interested for right now. So this is where you're going to view traffic to your website. If you are doing any sort of email marketing, or if you're sending your website out in any sort of way, you're going to see the website analysis and basically see, how many users are on your website. And if this user is within your Lofty and actually using your website, you're going to be able to see that activity on the back end, just like we see with Zillow and Follow Up Boss. Her name, Lourdes, is up there along with her her actual link. So if you go ahead and click that, Lourdes, it's going to take you to the actual website, right? And I usually always do accept all cookies. And so now you can see that Lourdes's phone number is up there, and then also her email is up there. So when Lourdes is sending this out to, doing any sort of email marketing, when she's at an open house, when she's meeting clients and she's doing the property alerts, the way that Andrew is talking about, and finding any sort of community tabs on the website, she's going to be using her website, and it's always going to draw back to her and her website and her email account. And so, but yeah, it's basically the GoWP website, has all the blogs, has everything that we set up on our website. And any changes we make to our website, it just syncs all the websites that we have set up under us, under different domains, according to ours. And so, yeah, if anybody were to go in there and search anything, then that's when Lourdes, if you go ahead and click on that Overview CMS tab at the top. So basically going back to the back end of it, hit the refresh button if you can, because then what you're going to see, so you see that spike on your website analysis. So that is showing that one person has viewed her website, and that was her. And so it's pretty cool in my opinion. And just seeing the traffic to your website on the back end, especially if any one of you are doing any sort of email marketing or text marketing, or just sending your website in any way, shape, or form. Good way to track everything. But I don't want to get too deep on the website and changing it or any of that. There's tons of settings. There's tons of everything that you can change with your website. But I just wanted to show you all where it was at, so you all can go to it and see it. And so let's go back to Lofty. Okay. Now,
Cameron, this is,
yes.
So the setup has to be done through a computer. This is not the app.
Yes. So good. I'm glad that you brought that up. So yes. So the setup, you can do it on your phone. It's just not mobile friendly. And so it's going to show up as if it was on the computer. So yes, I would recommend to get setup done as fast as possible, I'd do it on your computer.
And it's Lofty.what? Where do we go to sign up on that?
Oh, you would get an email from us. And so as soon as you get your subscription paid for, that's when our onboarding admin, she will send you an email to Lofty to set up.
So I'm set up I'm set up on the app, but I don't. How do I go to a browser to be able to do it from the computer?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood the question. You would go to lofty.com, and then you would go into the sign in at the top right hand corner, and then you would sign in as you, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, adding leads. Here's the fun part. Here's the exciting part. Lourdes, if you go ahead and go to people, this is where all of your leads are, right? And obviously, Lourdes doesn't have any of hers because we just set it up. And this is what all of yours are going to look like as well. But there's a big purple button on the top right-hand corner that says Add Leads. So now there's two ways to do it. If any of you have any sort of list like Angelica was talking about, I know some of us are doing the probate program with Mirka. If you have any sort of list, a CSV file is an option to upload that CSV file by clicking the ellipsis right next to the Add Lead button. And it says Import Leads, and that'll walk you through uploading your list, clicking all the right things, and just setting that up to import a list in bulk. But what I want to show you all is just setting up just one lead at a time. And so Lourdes, you could just do like basic information, but you can do my information if you want. So when I'm ready to buy a home, I can go ahead and get in contact with you. Every other agent's like, wait a second, hold on.
I'll take it. Gladly.
Yeah, I'm actually already pre-approved for $1.2 million home.
Holy
So
cow.
Oh, okay.
Somebody better
Where are you
follow up there.
looking? How many beds? How many?
So okay, cool. So yeah, so we're just gonna go through. I'm just gonna go through what specifically to set up with these leads. And so any sort of lead that you put into your database, you're obviously going to choose. So at the top, so if you scroll to the top, Lourdes, so lead owner is you. So it's a personal lead, right? And then any sort of, so in the lead type right next to it, you're going to say what type of lead this is. Is it an investor? Is it an agent? Is it a homeowner? You know, what type of lead is it? And let's just make this one a buyer. The first name, obviously, Lourdes put test Lourdes. And then last name, you're going to put the last name of the individual. You're going to put their email address. Lourdes already did. And then you're going to put their phone number. And then you're going to put what type of phone number it is, like a mobile or a home phone or whatever it may have you. And then as we scroll through, this consent to contact, I usually just skip all that. I just leave it as no. And then the mailing address, obviously, if you all are getting individuals where they have, it's a listing lead, right? You're going to input all the address property in there as well. And then you can put their birthdays. Here is where the important part is. So when it comes to the source, I always input where this lead came from. Did it come from open houses? Was I cold calling? Was I at a networking event? Did I do some sort of, was I, at a coffee shop and I overheard somebody, talking about real estate? Where did this come from and why is this important, Eric? Go ahead.
So you can keep track of where your leads where the leads are coming from.
Yes.
Whether it's like social media, through door knocking, through you just hosting an open house and you finding something across these people.
Yes. It's in the marketing world, a big word for me. It's called attribution. Where do I attribute my closed sales to? What marketing is working for me? Am I getting all my leads from the team? Am I doing open houses and I'm having success there? So you all know where to reinvest your efforts, right? And so that's why I always, no matter what lead, any lead that you put into your CRM, I'm going to say it again, always include the source. Where did this lead come from? And so, actually, I'm very interested to see what sources Lofty already has in there. So active listing inquiry, agent COI, agent Pronto. So they have like a lot of, it seems like other softwares. Yeah, I see Bold Leads in there. Brivity is in there. Calendly. Yeah, so as you can see, there are a ton of different lead sources in there.
Cheapassleads.com.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so yeah, but always put your source. Always put your source. And then what I always do, just for segmenting purposes, I always tag the lead, the source as well. So you could do this, Lourdes, if you go into source and then you put open house. We're going to assume this came from open house. Whatever I input the source as, I always tag it as the source as well. And why is because when I am doing any sort of email campaigns or whatever it may have you, and I only want to choose the leads that came from open houses, it's so easy for me to segment. And Lofty, I know this is a little bit more advanced, but if I wanted to send out, the blog to all the people in the last month that I met at open houses, it's so simple just to categorize them by tag. And the tag is going to be by the source of open house. And I'm just going to choose that and say I met 120 people at open houses in the past month. I want to send them a blog about open houses and what to look for in open houses and all that good stuff. And so easy just to find them. And so in tags, if you just go ahead and tag open house.
And the reason that's important is that if you want to say something very specific in either the subject line of the email or something in the body that pertains to, hey, so glad we connected at this open house, you kind of only want to send them to the people that you met at the open house and not through other lead sources.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's how you could use like these tags to your advantage of knowing exactly like where you met this lead, where
100%. Lourdes, if you go ahead and click on pipeline real quick.
Pipeline.
DNC, attempted contact, spoke with customer, appointment set, met with customer. So, oh wow, it's already integrated in there. That's crazy. So you all are most likely familiar with the statuses in FUB, updating the statuses. You hear it from the ISA team all the time, update your statuses. Reason being is to make sure you're always keeping track and always aware where every single lead is at in your pipeline. Andrew talks about this a lot in the book of business, knowing where your 30, 60, 90-day leads are at. And so in Lofty, this is going to be under pipeline. And the reason being is because pipeline, it comes in stages. And so your status, you're going to choose whatever the status of this individual is in your pipeline. And so let's say, I met you at an open house, Lourdes, and you bam fammed me to go show me properties this weekend. So you're going to put me in the status of bam fam. Perfect. Cool. So we got their basic information, their name, their number, their email, where they came from as a source. And we also tagged them based on that source. We changed and updated their status to whatever stage that they're at right now. For this example, I'm bam fam. And last but not least, obviously you all see a bunch of other options, like are they buying, what their buying time frame is, are they pre-qualified, are they a first-time home buyer? Lofty does a really great job of creating all these categories for you to know exactly all the information you need to know about this individual. And so before you hit that save button, Lourdes, one of the most important parts in Lofty, I don't know if y'all see it right there at the bottom. What does that say, Eric? What does that say at the bottom?
It says, Lourdes, please send me $25.
I was like, where are you looking?
I know. I was like,
So at the bottom, it says note. Literally, our team does this all the time with we have a content pipeline, knowing what stage our content is at and knowing who did what at each stage. And in order for us to know that, we have to put in notes on every single lead that comes in, right? And this is, yes, a little bit of admin work, but when you're doing this on the phone, which I'm about to show you all in a second, it is super easy. Literally, Andrew does it in seconds in the training with the voice activation, with the voice to text feature in his phone. It is so easy. I always put a note in there, and I always put the date, right? So I would do 6.27, and then I do a dash, and then I always do whatever the person did or whatever they're trying to do, the activity that needs to be done for that person, that's what I put first. So I know, okay, I need to send this person, I bam fam them, and I need to send them 3 properties as soon as I get home.
Yep.
And then any sort of activity, anything that I know about this person, this is where I just go into my notes and I put as much information about this person as possible. So Lourdes would put, I met this charming, good-looking lad at my open house, he came in and it was very hard for me to go through my scripts just because of the overwhelm of handsomeness that was just radiating.
Oh my God.
And these are Lourdes' notes.
I know, Lourdes, come on.
This is what Lourdes.
I'm married. How dare you?
She's looking for a quick exit, she told me, Cameron. So just on the DL.
And so, yeah, she's going to put, mention he has kids and he has a wife that works wherever. He came in and he drove a Mercedes, right? He mentioned that he was getting pre-approved from his Chase Bank. I offered him, I offered him to use our Patriot Pacific. We had that conversation. He told me roughly how much he made in a year. He told me his criteria for a home. He said he liked 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm gonna, as soon as I get home, set him up on a property alert, et cetera, et cetera.
He told me his timeline.
His timeline was 5 months. And the reason being, I always like to know the reason why he's about to move in 5 months. The reason being is he got a job relocation from LA to Temecula, and he needs to find a home for his family in the next 5 months, or else they're gonna be homeless.
That's a horrible job.
Or they're gonna be spending a lot of money paying for an Airbnb or whatever it is. So you want to protect their finances by finding them a home within that 5 months. So I always put the reasoning to any sort of information that I have about this individual. And again, reason being, I want to just build a habit as a real estate agent, as a salesperson, to go into my contacts, and at any time I can click one of them and I know exactly the status that they're at. I know where they're at. Like the last thing that I did with them, I BAMFM them. I know where they came from. And then I can look into the notes and be like, oh, cool. This was the conversation that I had with them. This is exactly where they're at. This is their motivation. This is their everything that I need to know about this individual. At a blink of an eye, I can just go into there and click on that contact and know that all that information immediately. And then obviously you're going to hit the save button at the bottom, and this is going to save the contact into your database, right? Future trainings, we're going to get into like setting up these leads on any sort of email campaigns, creating landing pages for you all to do, your own Facebook ads and your own, sort of marketing to drive more traffic to your GoWP and to drive more traffic to you all in order to generate some more leads, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that was the basics of setting up your Lofty. Was that easy, Lourdes? How was that?
Super easy.
Super duper easy. And so I appreciate you for that. Anybody have questions while I go to the mobile version? Any questions?
Just on the having issues trying to. I mean, it had me sign like 3 times on the browser version, and I just can't have it done. So, but on the website, so the minute we just finally get access to it, the website, we can just keep on building it, but the IDX is already hooked up.
Yes.
And that's it. So I got a question. So that IDX comes straight from CRMLS, and
Yes.
and I know that each person has their own IDX, right? Their own personal IDX.
On personal IDX. It's coming from your MLS ID. So if that's what you mean, yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah. So then, when you said something, you mentioned about the Warburton team has this build up, and you said that whatever that is built up, I guess the blogs or whatever. So then our websites are going to have that automatically. Is that what you said?
Yes. Your website, everything our GoWP has, your website has.
Okay. So then, so I understand now, because it's coming from the team's account, so that everything is going to be there. So when people, like, for example, I put my leads from my open house. Now they're going to my website. Now they're clicking on these things and they want more information. Am I going to get notified, or does it go to the team's website?
If they click on it depends what the blogs. So specifically, really good that you brought this up. So specifically with the blogs, obviously we are the ones who are creating the blogs, and in the blogs there's links, there's HTML5 links to basically going back to our GoWP now. Now we can't change this, or else we literally, I believe there's like 55 individuals that we have in our Lofty subscription, but we would have to literally spend money to change every single one of those links based on your guys' website link. So we just do it. So how we do it right now, just to make it as efficient as possible and effective for the real estate agent as possible as well, is we just keep the blog links going back to GoWP now, and we can see in our Lofty where it's coming from. And so what's going to end up happening is if you're taking our blog, if you're taking the blog and you're sending it to your database, and somebody in your database clicks that, we can see where that came from. And so we're going to see that it came from Angelica's account, and our ISA team, is going to follow up with that lead immediately, like they do with any other lead that comes in. But then we're going to reroute it back to the real estate agent. So it's literally like you have your own, ISA coaches that are, because you all are busy, you all are out in the field. And so any sort of leads that, that come in, immediately they're getting answered by our ISA team, again, from the blog specifically. And so they're getting answered by our ISA team and rerouted back to the real estate agent for either a live transfer or a phone call, or just notifying the real estate agent saying, hey, Angelica, we got somebody from your blog. They said they were looking for da-da-da-da-da. Go ahead and give them a call.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure this out, but you said that you're able to detect where that lead came from, but if but you said something that I have to add that lead into my contacts.
No. So okay. So and I think the confusion is like where the funnel is. So you started an email campaign with our blog.
Uh-huh.
So you grabbed our
Yes.
blog and then you sent the blog out to your
Mm-hmm.
database in Lofty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cam123 clicked on the blog, but it went to GoWP. I was looking
Mm-hmm.
at a home on the GoWP website. I
Mm-hmm.
inquired on that home. We can
Mm-hmm.
track that back to your account. And so it says
Mm-hmm.
Angelica, like this came from Angelica's account. And
Mm-hmm.
so we would see that, and then our ISA team knows to go in there and be like, oh, this live lead came in. Where did it come from? Oh, wait, it came from Angelica's account. Yeah, lead, da 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 da. All right, cool. I'm going to transfer you over to Angelica. You know, whatever the outcome is of that person calling in or that person inquiring, whatever the outcome is, whether it's appointment or just their information, we would then notify you and say, hey, Charles called us and he said he came from the blog, and we were just, he said that he wanted to go see a house at this day, this time. And so
And that's
it's,
And that's only, sorry to interrupt you. So that's only if they did it like through a blog or
a
if I
blog.
created
Hmm.
created a campaign with the blogs. But
Yes.
if somebody like I say, let's just say I meet somebody and that somebody goes and checks out my website and then they want to inquire, I have a notification
Hmm.
directly from Lofty,
Yep.
and then so somebody that comes and checks my website out, or gets contacted or redirected through my social media to
Hmm.
the website, I get the notification, but it doesn't go to the website, the W whatever
Mm-mm.
PP.
It goes
Okay.
to your website. Yeah. Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, to clarify, yeah, any sort of personal business, like that's only blog specific, because in that blog, all the links to it go to our website. And
I see.
so, yeah. And so, but if you were to create your own blog, if you were to use your own landing pages, if you were to do your own marketing, put leads in there from anywhere that's personal business, that's yours. Now we can
So
see, yeah, we can see the activity, but that's it. We're not going to touch it because that's your business.
So,
And
so
so,
guess, so the last question is, so let's say that they get from my social media, they get into the website, and
mm-hmm,
then they start looking at all these blogs that are
mm-hmm,
there
mm-hmm,
automatically, and they want to look at the foreclosures or they want to look at the um, new builds or whatever,
mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
they go directly to the blogs. That is the same case. It wouldn't. So in other words, if they start doing that or they start doing the searches, it goes straight to the team's website.
So to be honest, just know, and this is me knowing user behavior well enough, for the likelihood of that happening is probably zero, very close to zero. Somebody going to your website, like they've seen you at an open house, they Googled you and you did a phenomenal job of search engine optimizing this, your Angelica Miranda Jones .gowpnow.com website. They click on it and they specifically go to the blog to learn about whatever. And then in that blog, they then click, like the likelihood of that user doing that is very, very low. Usually they're going to your website to look at the homes that are on it.
Yeah.
And so, or just looking up information about you because they never met you before. So they're just trying to do their due diligence. And so, yeah. And so just to let you know, like the likelihood of that happening, it's very, very low. Users just don't operate like that. I wouldn't do that.
No,
Right?
yeah, my first reaction that I go onto a website wouldn't be to read blogs.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think unless I'm specifically looking for something and that blog was the answer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that, I'm probably going to YouTube to find the answer to that thing. And so, yeah. So basically, so to say, like, you don't have to worry about that, basically. And so,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
And so, okay. So now, the mobile version of the app. If you all go to the App Store and literally type in Lofty, you're going to see it pop up. It's going to be an icon like you see the icon that I have at the left-hand bottom corner next to my follow-up boss. As soon as you click into that, this is what it's going to show. So I'm logged into the customer service account, so it's showing like all these leads that are in there. But just really quickly, just like on the desktop version, you're going to tap your people at the bottom and all your people are going to show up here. You're going to tap your listings, and this is any sort of, while using the app, this is any sort of listings that just came on the market based on the filters that you have. You have your My Listings up there, any sort of transaction. So this is your pipeline, right? And so any We can get into another video on basically setting up your pipeline. So you know, like, all right, cool, we just got a listing, we signed the agreement. Next is doing all the marketing for the home. Next is accepting offers. Next is, all the pipeline stages that come along with listings, all the pipeline stages that come along with buyers. I highly recommend setting that up just so you can keep track of every single deal that's in your pipeline. But it's under transactions, and then under more, obviously I'm not going to go into every single one of these, but the most important thing, I would say the two most important things is first, in your settings, you can go ahead and tap settings right there, the last option. And you see the third option, notifications. You want to make sure you tap that. And always, always, always just make sure that your allow push notifications is turned on. Because this is how, when you all learn how to do property alerts, this is how you're going to be receiving the push notifications. If that's turned off, people are going to be reaching out to you about the property you sent to them based on the property alert, and you're not going to know. And so you want to make sure that your push notifications is turned on. And then I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go back to the more icon at the bottom. And the other thing, when you all do set up property alerts, you're going to see all of that in activity. And so what I did is right next to settings, you see activity. You're going to go ahead and click that. And now you can see all of the behavior of people opening your emails, what exactly that they clicked on within the email. So like, as you can see, I don't know whose lead this is, but Daniel Blue, at 12:32 today was looking at, this Ukaipa home. And again, that lead is most likely assigned to somebody already. But basically in your activity, this is where you're doing the thing that Andrew talks about, where you click on this property and then it takes you to the property on GoWP. I'm going to accept all these, you screenshot it, and then you go back into your follow-up boss and you text it to him saying, hey, I was just on Conversion Lab. I seen this property and I thought you may like it, Chad. And so that's where you do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What is
that's
the activity? Where do you find that? I'm so sorry.
so do you see the tab at the bottom, the ellipsis that says more?
Uh-huh.
So as soon as you tap that, it brings up all these options.
Activity. Okay, so I
Yeah.
found it.
And then, the last option, the second to last option, activity, you click that and it shows all the activity of all the emails that you're sending out, people that are clicking the email, opening the email, and people that are clicking on certain properties that were, that are on your website. It shows all that activity. And so, but yeah. Does anybody have any questions regarding the app? It's pretty simple. It's really, really simple. I would say everyone, like,
So simple.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, CRMs, it can be overwhelming. There's so many different bells and whistles that come along with your CRM. But just know, like, your CRM, it's built for what exactly, like, the acronym CRM, a contact relationship management system, right? CRM. And that's all you're doing. You're just organizing all of the contacts that you have in a way to where where every single one of these individuals are at in their home buying process, right? And so you input all your notes in there and you tag them accordingly. You can see what source they came from. And so, yeah, just think about it like that. I'm just managing my relationships. I'm just using a software to manage my relationships all the way until you all find a home. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that's about it. If
I
nobody,
have another question.
yes.
Oh, somebody was talking. I'll let them talk first.
Stan.
Yes. Hey, Stan.
Hi. A lot of this is new. I'm glad. I'm just listening in. I tried to load the Lofty or put it on my phone, and it says MLS membership. So I'm so green. These people, some of the folks have been around a while. So I'll just have to work on getting my MLS membership.
Yes.
Who should I talk to, or should I just get with Leslie, who I've been working with, or?
So you, because you said you've been licensed for a long time. So
But not for residential real estate. I use it for a whole different something else for many years.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you have access to the CRMLS?
CRM, I don't know.
Oh, got it. Yeah, because I think that would fix it, because you would have to. I believe you said you're in the Orange County area, South Orange County area, and so your board. Are you a part of like OCAR, or are you part of What association are you part of?
No, this is all new. You're the first interaction.
Oh, got it.
I hung my license with you guys, but Leslie has been mentoring me and has been helping me, so I can talk to her about these little particulars.
Yes.
Maybe she can give me some guidance. But when I tried to put this app on my phone, it says I needed a MLS membership.
Yes, so that's the MLS ID that Lourdes filled in. So yeah, so you basically, and any real estate agents, correct me if I'm wrong, because last time I did this was 10 years ago. And so if the process is different, just, butt in. I believe you get your, you sign up with an association, OCAR, and then that's when you get access to the CRMLS. And so your CRMLS login, you're going to have that, and that's how you search for property. So if you're going out to meet somebody for an appointment and you need to search up 3 more properties, you go into your CRMLS, look for those properties based on the criteria, and then you print them out or download them as PDFs or however, whatever works for you. But basically your association would give you access to your CRMLS. And this is, and so they would also give you access to your Supra as well, so you can actually open the doors for, open all the lock boxes at the properties. Correct? Can I get confirmation from any agents on that?
Hey, Cameron, this is Erica. So I think the board gives you access to the zip forms.
Got it.
And the MLS is separate. So the board, you have annual board fees, which gives you access to all the CAR forms. And then MLS is a separate quarterly fee that gives you access to the listings.
It's all included though. They'll hook you up when you choose your board.
Oh, okay. Mine doesn't do that. It's separate.
Orange County, they do. Yeah, they do.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
so I have to pay 2 different fees, but okay.
Yeah,
So reach out to the Orange County Board of Realtors and they'll help me get
they take care of they include it in their annual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orange County Association of Realtors. That's the name of the association.
And that's okay, because I live in Orange County. Okay, we'll seek that out and get that handled. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you too.
So just as a suggestion, always try to reach out to your local board, because the local board offers not only the services, but they offer trainings, and sometimes they have classes with attorneys and whatever not. And you can go and attend those. And also, if you want to buy your Supras or rent out your Supras and signs and whatever, that's where you go and get those. I think that ours in Murrieta is a little bit cheaper than Orange County and San Diego, but I think convenience wise, it's right there in front of you. So doesn't make sense to drive all the way over here to try to get the stuff that you need.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love it. Cool. Thank you all. Yeah. Any other questions?
I have it.
Yes.
Angelica. So I went to my Lofty, and then I see somebody that says Lofty Guide buyer 2 days ago. So when I click on it, it says that it's from San Francisco, and what they're looking for, right? But then I don't know how it popped and now it's disappeared, but it said that Lofty, a notification kept showing up that Lofty could not verify their number, and they were suggesting that I initiated like a email contact or something. I don't even know how. I cannot find it. And engagement, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's a default. It's on mine too when you first sign in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you answer Cassandra's question about the FUB? Did I miss that?
Siaja. No, so that was what I was going to get to next. So Cassandra asked, do I add my personal leads to Lofty as well if I already have them on FUB? So this is an interesting conversation. I always go to me personally, like what I would do when it comes to adding your leads to your CRM. Yes, I would. So yes, I would add my leads, my personal leads to Lofty as well. And the reason being is because I would like to set them up on property alerts. When I do property alerts, if I had the choice of what you do, if you have the choice of them searching on Zillow or searching on your website, I would want them searching on my website so they're always seeing my brand. Reason being is because if they're searching on Zillow, they can obviously, go to, click showing a home, click go to see a home. I don't know the exact call to action that's on Zillow's platform, and they'll get sent to another agent or another team. So I want to control that lead, right? So when the lead comes in from no matter where it comes in, meet them at an open house, obviously they're searching for properties or else they wouldn't have known that that open house was there.
Right.
And so what I want to do is I want to get them in my ecosystem, right? And so I want to make sure that, so yes, to directly answer the question, I would take my personal leads and I would also add them to Lofty. As of right now, our development team for iconnect is working on a connection between Lofty and FUB, so you don't have to continuously duplicate like tasks and notes and all that good stuff in FUB and in Lofty. And so when basically they're going to work on setting it up to where anything you do in Follow Up Boss that's personal business, it translates over to your Lofty, so you don't have to continue, duplicating your workload. And so we're working on that. We'll let you all know when we actually get that integration set up properly. But until then, yes, I would definitely put my personal leads into my Lofty because I want to set up property alerts for all of my personal leads. And when they're searching for property, I want to be able to see that activity on the back end and and notify them.
Yeah, it also comes down to the splits too. Like if it goes through Zillow, Zillow's out on the 40% on top.
Yes.
So I think being I'm not a real estate agent, but if I were a real estate agent, it would make so much more sense to like set them through Lofty, get them through like Cameron said, like your own ecosystem. That way you don't even have to pay Zillow on top of that lead.
Yeah, because last thing that you want to do, Cassandra, is meet somebody at an open house. You put them in your FUB, and then you're just relying on them to search for property wherever. And this could be Realtor.com, Zillow, Homes.com. And their business model is monetizing off of sending the leads to the real estate agents. And so that business model, right, they're obviously doing that at scale. And so if you just leave it up to the consumer to just go search on whatever platform, just know when they click that call to action to, I want to go see this home, just know that that lead's not going to you. It's going to some team or a real estate agent that's paying for that zip code. And so like our team, we're a Zillow Flex team, we get, we add all the zip codes that we want to add. And so, you lose control of the lead when you just put it into Follow Up Boss and just name it as personal, because then it's like, I then ask the question as a real estate agent, where is that lead searching for property? And most likely it's on Zillow or Realtor.com or Homes.com. Yep. And so, so definitely put your personal leads in your Lofty for right now.
Because Jenny did tell me that, I'm not sure how you did it, Cassandra, but I think that, when I talked to Jenny about this, she said, there's the personals don't go on Follow Up Boss, they go on Lofty, because that's where you can create your list of your own personal. Yes. And then I guess you can, because it connects with Follow Up Boss, and then that way, whatever you need to do. And I think also they're working on making sure that Follow Up and Lofty connect on the tasks, right? And the conversations and the notes, because as of right now, it doesn't. So it's a little of double work, but you want to make sure that your personal stay with you where you can control and you can follow up with them. Yourself. And then eventually when they teach us to do the landing pages can only be created on your own website that derives from Lofty. And that's where you're going to be capturing people anyway, and they're redirecting them to you all the time.
Yes.
100%. Angelica, we need to switch seats. She does she does a better job explaining it than I do.
I know.
Shoot. We're hiring for a third podcast host, Angelica, by the way. And so she's going to get a screen right there.
You get paid in compliments.
Yes.
Well, I know these things. I just need to know what the actions, the techniques or whatever to use the platforms. So that tells you that I've been taking a lot of classes. I just still need the help to connect all that.
Yes. I honestly believe the more you all use it, like do it. Like anytime you're coming to conversion labs or the Wednesday trainings, lead conversion bootcamp, and Andrew's showing you this stuff on his phone or his laptop, like do it yourself. Like, cause I come from the sports world, and how athletes get better is through repetition of the game. And so when you all are out and you all are, setting up property alerts and all that good stuff, you want it to a point to where it's second nature. You don't have to think about it. And you can have a conversation with your client while you're inputting notes into your Lofty. And then you're getting, you're asking them the questions that are on the scripts and getting their criteria, and you throw it into your Lofty while you're talking to them. And you're like, boom, all right, cool. Check your email real quick. Go ahead and open your phone. Yeah. Do you see that email from me? Yeah. So that's you just told me you're looking for da-da-da-da-da. I just sent you a property alert, and you're always going to get these emails every single morning. And so you want to get it that second nature, so there's no bottleneck in from the tech perspective. It's just all, you all doing what Andrew says, and it's all selling at that point and moving that buyer along their buying journey to eventually home ownership. And so Aaron asked the question, is any of the information presented from the Conversion Lab sessions available online? Yes, they are. We upload all of our stuff to our YouTube account. It's the Warburton Team. If you go to YouTube, just type in the Warburton Team. You're going to see our YouTube account pop up, and we upload all of our Wednesday trainings and our conversion labs there. And then you will also find it in our newsletter as well that we send out to the agents every Monday. And so, cool. This was a good one. I love the engagement, everyone. This is really good engagement. I love it.
We love having conversations.
Yes, love having conversations with you all. Yeah, and so thank you all for coming. I honestly hope everybody has a very successful weekend. Anybody who's doing open houses, I hope 50 groups to your open houses, and you're just going in there setting up property alerts for every single couple that walks in. And so, Eric, anything?
Give us a thumbs up if you claim that good luck
claim it.
important.